Imagine waking up on a normal morning thinking everything is calm at Vikings camp, and suddenly, a piece of news explodes in the hearts of the fans. Carson Wentz, yes, that's right, is in Minnesota trying out for the purple and gold. No, you didn't read that wrong. While many are still digesting the egregious mistakes of the last preseason game, the Vikings front office is already in motion, seeking a bold solution to the silent crisis that has taken hold at the most important position on the roster. But this is just the beginning. There's more happening behind the scenes, unexpected moves involving Adam Thielen, imminent cuts, and a time bomb exploding in the secondary. Want to know what's really going on behind the scenes at the Vikings? Stay until the end, because this story is just beginning. So hit the like button and join me. The Minnesota Vikings have thrown a curveball that's got the entire fan base buzzing. Just when things seemed relatively quiet on the quarterback front, a name no one had seriously considered has entered the building, Carson Wentz. That's right. The former Pro Bowler and longtime NFL journeyman is now working out with the Vikings, and it's not just a courtesy visit. This development could dramatically reshape the quarterback depth chart in Minnesota just as we approach the regular season. It all started in the aftermath of a brutal preseason showing by Brett Rypien, who quite frankly left fans and coaches equally frustrated. His performance was so underwhelming that even head coach Kevin O'Connell's sideline expressions were telling the story. Rypien wasn't just missing throws, he was outright sabotaging any chance for wide receivers on the roster bubble to showcase their talent. Balls were sailing, receivers were getting no help, and patience was clearly wearing thin. Add to that the mystery surrounding Sam Howell's absence in the final preseason game, and suddenly, the quarterback room in Minnesota feels unstable. Enter Carson Wentz. A veteran with starting experience, yes, but also someone whose recent years have been defined by short stints and inconsistency. He last started full-time in 2021 with the Colts, throwing for over 3,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. Statistically, it was respectable, but the whispers around his leadership, decision-making, and locker room fit led to his departure. Since then, he's bounced around, with the Commanders in 2022, the Rams in 2023, and briefly the Chiefs. Now, he's knocking on the Vikings' door, perhaps as a backup, or maybe something more depending on how things shake out. What makes this move even more intriguing is how it might impact rookie Max Brosmer, who has impressed during the preseason. Brosmer came into camp with low expectations but has consistently overperformed, flashing poise and playmaking ability beyond what anyone anticipated. If Wentz is signed, it likely sets up a two-man battle between him and Brosmer for the QB2 job, and fans are already debating which direction the team should go. Now, where does that leave Sam Howell and Brett Rypien? Most signs point toward a roster cut. Howell, despite some promise, has looked completely out of sync, throwing multiple interceptions in training camp and committing one of the worst picks of the preseason in a game against New England. It wasn't just a bad throw. It was an attempted throwaway that lacked the arm strength to reach the sideline, resulting in an inexplicable interception. Coaches likely saw enough. Rypien, on the other hand, may be practice squad material at best, but after his last performance, even that might be generous. Let's not ignore the emotional undercurrent here. Carson Wentz grew up a Vikings fan. That's a storyline that adds sentimental weight to this decision. If he signs, he wouldn't just be another backup QB, he'd be someone coming home, in a sense, and possibly embracing a mentorship role under Kevin O'Connell, whose system has rehabilitated quarterbacks before. We've seen what the KOC rehab school can do for veterans trying to revive their careers. Could Wentz be the next redemption story in Minnesota? And while the quarterback headlines are dominating the conversation, another potential bombshell is quietly developing behind the scenes. Reports are swirling about a possible reunion between the Vikings and one of their most beloved receivers, Adam Thielen. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Minnesota has reached out to the Carolina Panthers to gauge interest in a trade for the veteran wideout. The speculation only intensified after a tweet from fan-favorite insider Pretty Ricky claimed the deal was done. That sent shockwaves through Vikings Twitter, fueling hope for a comeback story that many fans would love to see. But before you dust off your old Thielen jersey, tap the brakes. Both Josina Anderson and Diana Rossini quickly tempered expectations, saying nothing is imminent but talks are ongoing. The reality is, Carolina may be hesitant to let Thielen go without a solid return. Minnesota is reportedly dangling 2 sixth-round picks acquired from the Jets, and while a fifth-rounder might get the deal done, anything higher seems unlikely. Why? Because the Vikings are operating under GM adofo-mensah's Moneyball philosophy, where value and age are major factors. Thielen will be 35 and, at best, the WR3 by week 4. That's not typically worth a fourth-round pick in Kwesi's playbook. Carolina's stance makes sense, too. With Bryce Young entering a critical second year and surrounded by young and proven receivers like Xavier Legette and T.M. McMillan, the Panthers likely value Thielen's leadership in the locker room. They believe they can compete in a weak NFC South, and stripping Young of his most experienced target doesn't align with that vision. Unless Minnesota ups their offer or Carolina pivots strategy, this deal might not materialize right away. Still, if you're betting, odds suggest there's a 70% chance Thielen is back in purple by week 1 at Soldier Field. But we're not done yet. The Vikings' issues don't stop at quarterback or wide receiver. The secondary is another ticking time bomb that could explode if the front office doesn't act. Preseason performances from Dwight McLeather, Samaya Vaughn, and even the once promising Mike Blackman have raised serious red flags. None of them have shown the consistency or confidence to instill trust, and injuries to the top tier of this cornerback group could spell disaster. Imagine this: Byron Murphy Jr., the team's most reliable corner, goes down. Now what? You're leaning on Isaiah Rodgers, a rotational player trying to prove himself, and Jeff Okudah, who hasn't exactly lit the league on fire since his draft day. Suddenly, your secondary could be the league's weakest. That's not hyperbole, it's a genuine concern. Don't be surprised if the Vikings are aggressive post-roster cuts or scour the waiver wire looking for reinforcements at cornerback. They've seen the tape, and they know they're one injury away from disaster. So much is in flux for the Vikings right now, and the front office is clearly not sitting idle. Moves are being discussed. Players are being evaluated. And the vision for this roster is still evolving. Whether it's Carson Wentz signing on his QB2, Adam Thielen donning purple again, or an emergency move to solidify the secondary, things are heating up in Minnesota. The pieces are moving. The stakes are rising. And the fans are watching. Let me know in the comments, if the Vikings do sign Carson Wentz, who should be the QB2, Wentz or Max Brosmer? And what's your take on the potential return of Adam Thielen? Would you give up a fifth-rounder to bring him home? Drop your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Vikings bombshells. Here I'll keep you well informed with daily news. See you in the next video. SKOL!